Alrighty, hello everyone. I'm all set up now. What we're going to be doing today is playtesting the Worldgen Snapshot 7. And apparently that's going to be the last one. So I guess we'll have to see whether there's anything else. I quite like it how they're adding other changes apart from world generation. Like they've done the bit where they where they made the elytra changes and the mob spawning changes. So I think that's pretty cool. How they're sneaking other things in there. I think that's actually quite a good way to do it as well, because you've got the world gen stuff, which is quite obviously in a test thing, and then you got the other things just being listed in there as stuff that they just want to get general opinions on without people thinking, you know, it's definitely coming to the game or anything, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Hello, Dan. But yeah, that is my thoughts on it. And I actually managed to set up my controller. Is that showing? Would you consider having one world between snapshots when they release the ones you can carry a world between? I don't know. I prefer playtesting it so that I can get a good idea for what's changed. Although if it's stuff like elytra, I might consider having a more streamlined world where it just keeps getting upgraded, because you can upgrade these ones. Oh wait, what are these ones? Oh no, those are from 1.16, I think. Yeah, I've been doing a bit of testing with some more mindful eating stuff. Hello, Kim. But yeah, I'm gonna make a new world. Load sheets on just in case I need to do anything. I quite like the bonus chest. Let's call this H. Done. I've already got a world called H. H moment. Already got a world called H moment. Bruh. Cool. Okay, right, let's call it bruh. Alrighty. Hello, Sinjai. Or Sinjai. It's hard to tell because in different languages J is pronounced as a Y or a J. In fact, J being pronounced as a J is apparently the minority, which is kind of weird because I'm used to English and Japanese and stuff where it would be a J sound. Cameron cheats real. Hell yeah. And not ashamed to admit it. It is playtesting after all. Hello, FloatyX. And yeah, I also got my controller hooked up to the game. You can see here I'm moving my mouse using the controller. I haven't actually tried playing with a controller much, so I'm still getting used to the controls. Oh, there's my bonus chest. Alright. There we are. Cool. Okay. Use the mouse. Might just use the keyboard for this one. Random dark oak, random acacia, random raw salmon, random bread, random apple, random sticks, random axe, random wooden pickaxe. Okay. Hello, Euroneptus. Oops, accidentally. How did that work? Okay. What moved my thing to the offhand? Ah. Oh right. Interesting. I'm not entirely used to these controls, so sometimes I'm using my mouse. Alright, so that's third person. That's turn the hotbar off. Don't know what that does. That's F. Okay. Makes sense. Always wondered who put those in that chest for you to get them lore-wise. Not sure if I'd consider this lore because it's a game option. But yeah, everyone draws the line at different points as what's considered as lore and what isn't. Oops, I should there we are. Cool. Hello, Riley. Hey, Supercat. I'm tired as well. I've got a coffee here next to me, so that should help with me not sounding tired. And I'm pretty revved up as well because had a good day yesterday. Right. Cool. I pressed the right button and didn't strip the wood. That's always a good start. Hello, Alan. Hello, the Soup God. Got quite a decent amount of people in chat at the moment, which is nice. It's weird. I always feel the urge to replant saplings, even if I'm never gonna visit this world again. I just feel like it's the right thing to do. Like, even if no one will benefit from it. It's kind of weird. I guess that's just the inner environmentalist, or maybe it's the inner fussy guy, because can't leave the floating trees. I don't always break all the leaves, but also I just realized I have my sound off for the game. No, I don't. It's just for that. Okay. I might just check. Where's my sound set to? Aha. That should fix it. Oops. Didn't, but oh well. Can anyone else hear it? Surprised you only have 30k subscribers. Oh, thanks. Although I find it a little bit hard. What was I saying? I do get a decent amount of subscribers every time I publish a video, but I haven't published a video for a while, so it's starting to go down, which is a bit annoying. Are you playing it with a controller? Yeah. What do you think the 3 mobs are for Minecon? I'm probably thinking they're just something something simple, probably just like Minecraft Earth and Minecraft Dungeons mobs. There's quite a big debate going on whether the mobs should be unique or not, because, you know, unique mobs are more exciting, but that also means that when they're not picked, everyone gets salty. So I mean, it was bad enough for the Iceologer versus the Glow Squid, but yeah, let's perhaps not go there. That is that's pretty much the Minecraft equivalent of bringing up an election, because I guess that is a mob election. So wait, seriously, how did you get a controller to work? I use Steam's controller mapping. So I've got a PS2 controller here, and that's hooked up to a super cheap dongle that plugs into USB, and then I've used a program called, I think, X360CE to confuse my computer and think I'm playing on a more modern controller, that being an Xbox 360, I think, because they don't have an equivalent one for PlayStation, or well, I haven't been able to find one. We can check which biome we're in, and then that goes through Steam to map the controllers to keys. So yeah, that's how I did it. I just searched up Minecraft Java controller. So how do you think of the snapshots overall so far? Well, I've seen some beautiful terrain, and they seem to have cleaned up many of the problems people were encountering, but I guess that's what this is for. Can't tell if this is a flower forest or a meadow. I think it's a flower forest. It is, okay. Although in some of my playtesting, I haven't found anything too impressive. When I was playtesting off camera a couple weeks ago, I found a really nice mesa, a village that had generated next to a mesa, and also it had generated next to almost a ravine. So it was really crazy terrain. It looked like it was just like an old mining town, because the village houses were all over the place. Some of them were in the ravine, some of them weren't. I used them as a thumbnail to this video, I think. So I can't really put a thumbnail of what I'm doing here as the video because it hadn't been made yet. But yeah. Says the mobs won't break blocks. Yeah, that's because they refer to them as block breaking, and as a pun off ground breaking. Can please use mouse and keyboard. I feel like I'm watching someone play Minecraft for the first time. I'm sorry. I just want to get used to it, because it's a lot easier to have a controller in my hands instead of having my hands on the keyboard, especially how my keyboard is super cheap and it won't let me press certain keys at the same time. It only registers certain ones at a time. Like, I can't sprint, jump, and move left and right, because my keyboard isn't good enough to treat all those inputs as separate. You can only have a certain amount of inputs being registered at a time, I think. Most keyboards tend to optimize it for WASD, but guess they didn't take Minecraft into account. And Supercat, I believe that would be the an example of... I can't remember what that property is called. It's called like the transference property, I think, where you say A is B, B is C, therefore A is C. So even though all those premises are wrong, it still makes logical sense. That's all good, Alan. Skill comes first, even though it can be boring sometimes. So yeah, I kind of want a snow golem redesign in the future. What do you think? I like how snow golems look. I think they could probably just be a little bit more powerful because they tend to get killed quite easily. And they really only throw snowballs. I mean, snowballs are fine. Perhaps they could throw ones that were slightly more powerful or deal a lot of knockback. So yeah, I'd like to see some changes to it. I'm not sure if they necessarily need a full-on redesign though. What's down here? Oh cool, we found some copper. Is it okay to kill dolphins in Minecraft? Ethically speaking. Well, I guess killing dolphins in Minecraft doesn't necessarily translate to consequences in the real world. It would disadvantage you because then they'd come after you and possibly kill you. And also you wouldn't be able to get dolphins grace, which means that you'd swim slower. I mean, you could use a boat. I tend to swim though because I'm still in love with the 1.3 swimming, 1.13 swimming animation. Is that okay to glow squids in Minecraft? How do you glow a squid? Is it like you put a torch on it and it turns into a glow squid? Right, some copper over there. I forgot dolphins attack. Everyone forgets dolphins attack because no one attacks them. Alright, let's see if I can figure out these controls. Okay. Let's put some... Make some torches. I've probably only played with a controller like a couple times in my life, maybe at a friend's house or something, so... This is a bit tricky. What do you think of a boss vote? That's a tricky one because I don't know how much they'd actually be able to let us know about. You notice in the mob votes they are very vague on the details. They don't tell us much, and that's because probably because they don't want to do a bunch of work for something that might not make it into the game. Like if you had to design 3 things, especially bosses take a lot of effort to design, especially in Minecraft, because you know the whole world is changeable, which means you can't really have specialized boss arenas or anything unless you go for something like the end, but I don't think they'd do that again. And even with the end you can still mine and place blocks, so can you mine copper with wood? Probably not. Damn, I do feel like such a noob because I got my controller and I got my oops, and I got my not sure about copper ore, even though it's a new thing. Okay, oops, I accidentally dropped it. Okay, let's make a stone pickaxe. Do you have any opinions on the ore generation? What about it specifically? Because you've got the ore veins, you've got the new distribution, you got the ores themselves. Bosses are huge additions that I don't trust the community with. I mean, we've got like 2 bosses to work off for how to design bosses. Well, not how to design bosses, but for how people will think of bosses in Minecraft. So yeah, I don't think it's something that the community is necessarily equipped to deal with. Um, do you have any plans for when the update comes out? Something like changing up your play style and trying it with friends? I always say that I want to join an SMP for a modded one, and then something always happens. Like in this case, caves and cliffs started appearing in snapshots, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And I'm like, oh, I can't play it with mods. So yeah, you could counter that with mining fatigue. I suppose you could, but that would also be taking away one of Minecraft's core mechanics. Plenty of bosses have you fight them. Not many have you build stuff to defeat them. So yeah, I don't think Minecraft is necessarily the best game for bosses. Just because of how it's designed. I don't think that's where it shines. All right, see ya, Dan. How it relates to how big the caves are now is what I was going for. Well, I like it because I can find a lot more resources via caving. All right, this looks relatively safe. There's zombies approaching. Let's see. Is there a way to get down safely? Because I do not want to be knocked off this ravine. All right. Let's try and okay. Let's try and take out this zombie. Oh yeah, I do feel like I'm playing Minecraft for the first time. Oh man, there's 3 of them now. Trying to do a critical hit before they This is actually quite fun because it's challenging. Oops. Okay, made it out. They're barely alive. Okay. I wanted Aurora Borealis to be added to Minecraft, but I thought a little more, and I don't think they'll work very well in Minecraft. Well, it depends on how they're executed. What's over there? I think there's a lava pit over there because there's some fire and stuff. Might go there just so I can see a bit better. Yeah, it depends on how they're executed. I remember seeing, I think the last time I saw Aurora Borealis in a game, I think it was when I was playing Spyro the Dragon. And that's really only part of the skybox in one level, and it's not really anywhere else. And like each level has a different skybox. So you could potentially put Aurora Borealis in the end. I think that could fit pretty well because, you know, the end is already kind of a spacey place, and that way it wouldn't be everywhere. I understand why Bedrock has rapid clicking now. Don't Elder Guardians count? I mean, they're stronger, and I guess they're keep messing up the controls. Okay, they're stronger, and they are like a big version and powerful version of a typical Guardian, but they don't really have a boss bar, and they don't I think it's more the structure itself that's kind of the boss, because you've got 3 of them, and the whole ocean monument as a whole is kind of like the challenge. But yeah, that's my take on it. Also, I've had to read discussions where people are arguing over what counts as the boss or not, and I honestly think in Minecraft's case it doesn't really matter. Some people are counting a raid as a boss, some people aren't. Honestly, to me it's a spectrum. Like you've got typical challenge, you've got more complex challenges, more tough challenges. Really, the way to define a boss, I would say, is just the challenge comes from one mob, and you're trying to defeat that mob. So the wouldn't count as a mob because you're not trying to defeat it. You're trying to avoid it. Do you think a food and farming update would be a good addition to Minecraft? A good example of a well-executed farming update is the mod by the name of Farmer's Delight. I have been checking out Farmer's Delight recently, and that's because I've been trying to balance it with my own mod, Mindful Eating. Oops, bye-bye, Cole. And Mindful Eating adds food groups, which are added by the mod diet, but it also makes it so that food will last longer if you eat the right food for whatever activity you're doing. So if you eat vegetables, you'll be able to run and jump for longer without using up as much food. I'm not sure if something like that would work on vanilla. I'm trying to make it like the mechanic more intuitive. Done a bit of community feedback around that. But yeah, I would like a food and farming update. It just depends on what comes in it. I remember talking to Vector Wing about how Farmer's Delight works in preparation for me balancing it with mindful eating, and he said it's major, not necessarily oversight because it's intended, but the main thing that it doesn't address is how it doesn't rebalance vanilla foods, and I feel like that's probably something that an actual food and farming update would need to do, because mods tend to build onto the game, and then vanilla tends to change things. Not always true, but that's the general idea, mostly because the modders have their own ideas. They don't necessarily want to jive with vanilla stuff. And also, it's a lot harder to modify Minecraft because you need like mixins and things. And you need to worry about compatibility, etc, etc, etc. Hello, Sussy Amogus. Are the Guardians the bosses the same way Evokers and Thrashers are bosses? Yeah, just powerful mobs. You could call them mini bosses, but Minecraft doesn't make a distinction there. I don't believe they do. Farmer's Delight adds too many items in my opinion. Oh yeah, tell me about it. Like, I started making a spreadsheet to make sure I can balance them all, and like, I haven't even, well, I'm also doing the Abnormals mods food, and like, it is a pain. It's gonna be like probably 5 times as big as vanilla foods, which were hard enough to balance. So yeah, that's why I haven't had much progress on that, because I've just not been bothered to set up the spreadsheet with all the values on it. So yeah. But yeah, in summary, I'd really be keen for a food and farming update. I mean, a lot of people when they talk about updates, not sure if they necessarily know what they want. For example, if people just go, oh, I don't like this, it's stayed the same for so long, it needs an overhaul. And then, so what sort of overhaul would that have? Like, I think this is probably what they do. Oh, creeper. For their 5-year plan. Also, I need to eat. If that creeper could just stay there. Oh, oops. No. Okay, I think I'm safe. Oh, this is tense. But yeah, Mojang has a 5-year plan. For they look 5 years ahead into the future to see what they want the game to look like by then. So they probably have a super vague plan for what sort of themed updates and perhaps some of the problems or experiences they want to address and create, respectively. Okay, well, I've got no food. That was a good idea, Cameron. Might just need to blow up this creeper remotely. Oh, it's gone back down there. Oh, no, it's coming back. Okay. Alright, well, you just blow up. Did you blow up? You did not blow up. Come back. So, for example, if they had to do an undead update, don't jinx it, some stuff I'd like to see them revisit would be the death system. Okay, well, that only dealt 1 heart of damage, so I'm safe for now. The death system, for example, how much XP you lose, perhaps a way to prevent your items from despawning, like Quark's Totem of Holding, and yeah, stuff like that. I would recommend the Offhand for Torches. Yeah, good point, because I haven't gotten a shield yet, so. Although what I really need is some food. So I might need to go back up to the surface. cave looks cool. Yeah, kind of. Thoughts on Minecraft VR and or RTX? I've heard people describe it as the future of Minecraft. It kind of makes sense because like Minecraft is pretty much the quintessential sandbox game. It's got all the pretty much the gamified tool for creating things, I guess. So I think it's probably a game that's very suited to VR and RTX, just because it's a simple concept, and it's very popular, and so yeah, I think it will probably grow. I'd like to see Minecraft Earth come back one day. Not sure if that will happen, but yeah, I expect with improvements in performance and things, that will probably be the direction it's going. And good, it's daytime. That's nice. Whoops, placed a torch. Do you watch the Owl House? I do not know what the Owl House is. 5-year plan? Yeah, they look 5 years ahead into the future. I remember Agnes talking about it on a stream. I think it was one of the ones that she did for CBS Unstoppable, which is like a stream where they interview. Whoops. It's a stream where they interview. Did I just place a block? Whoops. Okay. A stream where they interview women in STEM. So yeah, I clipped some things she said from there for future reference. They're quite interesting. I like a beetroot update, Mr. Mojang. Honestly, I'm not sure why beetroots were even added in the first place. They just kind of appeared in Pocket Edition one day. Oops, just dropped that again. I need to get that cobblestone. I love that Ender Dragon's name is Gene. In my opinion, the Wither should be called Fernando. Its actual name, or well, the name that's been mentioned before, is actually Simmons. And I believe that comes from the fact that you summon the Wither. Where did that cobblestone get to? What? How? Can't see it anywhere. Oh, I guess I'll just have to mine my way out. Oops. At least I'm getting some good practice on how to do the controller. Okay. What? It goes into my inventory, but like it does not show up unless I'm blind or something. But I cannot see it. That's weird. That's so weird. Maybe it's a bug with the current build or something. Do you watch Film 3? Occasionally. I like the idea of having a totem of teleportation that would teleport your items to your spawn point if you were to die. I've heard Minecraft YouTube channel say that they want some they want to keep their gameplay loop of having to come back for your items. So I'm not sure if that will happen. I think they just need to make that gameplay loop more interesting. I've been playing Hollow Knight, well, not recently, but I've played it, and I quite like its death system. For those unfamiliar, what happens is whenever you die, you produce a shade, which is like an evil version of you. Haha, I gotcha. And you have to fight your shade, which has about the same amount of health points as you, to get back your money, and also get your soul gauge back up to maximum capacity. One annoying thing about it is that you often have to go back to get your items, often past some challenging points, which is annoying if you just want to try killing a boss again and again and again. But that could be pretty easily solved with just adding more benches. Benches are the places where you respawn. So something like that in Minecraft could be cool. I think main thing is just that you'd need to balance the XP cost. I never really got to play Minecraft Earth. I hope it comes back because I think it's a really good idea. I really wonder how it would have been affected by future updates to Minecraft. Well, I was on a stream with one of the lead designers of Minecraft Earth. Well, I wasn't on the stream. I was watching his stream. And I was about the only one in the stream actually. And I was asking him about Minecraft Earth, and he said that he had plans to Ooh, okay. This is oh, darn it, missed that other block. Okay, there we are. Cool. He had plans to add the Nether eventually, and you know how in Minecraft Earth you got the build plates that you put on a surface on a floor. Well, the Nether would have it so that it would go in a it would go in the wall. Like you'd place it on the wall, and then the wall would have a hole in it, like a virtual hole, and then you'd play like that, which is cool because you know the Nether has a ceiling. I like more reasons to stay out through the nights because make phantoms more bearable, preventable, especially since mob drops are going to be easy to get in new caves. I think the simplest way to mitigate most of the problems of phantoms would just be make them spawn higher up. Make them spawn around the altitude of mountains. That doesn't have to be tied to the mountain biomes. Like, you could still find them if you were high up, perhaps flying with Elytra. I've heard a lot of people saying that they want phantoms to serve as kind of like a nuisance. Well, not a nuisance, but like a challenge when you're flying with Elytra. Yeah, because most people's problem is just that they go everywhere. Whereas if they only spawn high up on mountains or high up in general, that means their insomnia thing becomes more of a gimmick than a, you know, have to sleep otherwise the phantoms will come for you. I really like something to tell me where I died. Yeah, same. How'd that work with stuff like lava in the void if it were to be introduced into Minecraft? Well, I assume that probably spawn nearby. Because the Shade in Hollow Knight has a system where it spawns nearby. Like if you're fighting a boss, it doesn't spawn in the boss arena. Well, sometimes the spawns are a little bit messed up, but generally it spawns outside the boss arena. But you know, you can't really do that for Minecraft because Hollow Knight's world is already kind of it's not procedurally generated. Its layout is static. So it can just hard code wherever the shades need to spawn for every possible position on the map. Whereas Minecraft's world is, you know, you can change it and it's procedurally generated. The game doesn't know in advance how everything's going to look. So that's a problem because there can be lots of potential edge cases, and I imagine it's probably one of the reasons that Minecraft takes a long time to update, just because of, you know, you can't test everything because there's so many different variations. So yeah, I assume for stuff like lava in the void, it would just spawn on top of the lava or on top of the void. And like, you know, you'd still be able to get your items back, but it would be a challenge because, you know, you still have to avoid the lava. But yeah, I think the idea of a shade or some way to get your items back would be worth looking into. Maybe the more XP you have, the more items you get to keep when you die. Not sure about that, because then that would just encourage XP grinding even more. When do you plan to do that video stream with BlockX or Artistry? I have no idea. We have pretty much just said we should do a collab at some point, and then we were not really sure how that collab would take place. I would like to join him for one of the episodes of Radio Artistry, but yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to happen because he likes to do those by himself and like get them out super quickly while he's working on his other animations or taking a break. So I'm not sure where I would fit in there. And honestly, I should probably be working on my own videos. It's just that I've been kind of swamped with adulting work recently. Uni assignments, general procrastination, that sort of thing. So, yeah. But I'm on the tail end of that. I like to think. So hopefully, hopefully I'll be able to get back to work on this sort of stuff soon. What's the point of a shade in hardcore? Yeah, there wouldn't be one. Hardcore, you die, so there wouldn't really be any need for a better death system because once you die, the game is over. Um, just one. Oh, what's happening to my controller? Sometimes when I'm playing, my extremely jank setup breaks for a couple of moments. It's quite annoying when I'm playing a game where I'm very close to death all the time. For example, a platformer like Crash 4 or Spyro. But it's not too bad. I'm used to my control being taken away in games. I've been playing Crash on the Run recently, and it lags really badly sometimes. And it's very frustrating when you die and it's not your fault, but I've figured out how to handle it. Like, as soon as I notice my control's being taken away from me, I pretty much just, like, put my phone on sleep so that it will have time to pause. Before I die, hello, Prehistoric Wildlife Studios. But yeah, one other thing about Hollow Knight's death system, I don't think it should be adapted just straight for vanilla. Hollow Knight's system works mechanically, but it also works thematically with Hollow Knight, because Hollow Knight, I believe, is a Souls-like Metroidvania, which basically means it's got similar mechanics to Dark Souls, you know, interconnected world, you have to go back to your items when you die, etc. Metroidvania, I believe, is you go out. Oh, hello. What's the attack button? There we are. Okay, cool. That is one of the examples of unavoidable damage in Minecraft, unless you're constantly looking up. But yeah, Metroidvania, I believe. I don't have the definition like off the top of my head, but yeah, it's basically you've got a world that you go around, and you explore, and it's all connected. Honestly, I don't actually remember the definitions. Point is, Hollow Knight works because it's theming. You know, you got those bugs that are infected and like all those evil like magic things around. And the shade works because the shade is kind of like, it provides lore of the shade trying to like break free of you, and every time you beat it, you reabsorb the shade and put it back into your own body. Whereas in Minecraft, I feel like Minecraft's I feel like Minecraft's theming is slightly different. I don't think a shade necessarily fits in there verbatim from Hollow Knight, because I don't feel like the idea of a player having some sort of evil thing within it really is that Minecrafty. Whoops, wrong one. Okay, well, there you are. Hello. Oh, cool. Now they're fighting each other. Okay, that's handy. Thought I was toast there. But yeah, so I would like the shade to, if there was a shade in Minecraft, I'd like it to be some sort of kind of creature that's like the fact of life. Okay, now you're coming for me. Okay. So not sure if anyone's read The Supernaturalist by Owen Colfer, but basically mute the stream now if you don't want spoilers. So that's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They're fighting these invisible jellyfish things, and it turns out the big plot twist in the story is that the jellyfish are actually, they're not sucking the life out of dying people. They're sucking the life. They're sucking the pain out of dying people. So they don't actually need to be fought because they're doing a good thing. So something like that, where a creature that's kind of just like the part of the natural life cycle, where every time you die, you get a shade of some sort, and it's just it's just vibing there. It's happy at first, because it's just part of the natural order. That's what happens when you die. A shade comes and stores all your items, and your XP. Maybe it really likes XP, so It'll be fine with taking your items. Well, it'll be fine with you taking your items from it. But it won't give up its XP, and you'd need to actually kill it to get its XP. It's very shocking to me that Minecraft hasn't done a crossover, a DLC with Pokemon, maybe because of Pixelmon. I mean, isn't Pokemon a Nintendo company, and they're like really tight with their IP? Like they don't really allow for much partnership like that. Alright, yeah, I can rapidly pause and unpause the game. There we are. But yeah, what I was talking about is, I'm not going to go into spoilers, but yeah, just having them kind of as a part of the natural world, maybe supernatural world. So they're not good, they're not evil, they're just kind of there, and you know, they'll let you get your items back, but they want your XP. So you'd have to fight them to get your XP back. And that also caters to more playstyles, because someone who doesn't necessarily care about XP, like someone who might have like fallen off a building and died that way, they can just get their items back. They don't care too much about XP, because you know, they're not wanting to enchant their tools for fighting and stuff. I know builders still want to enchant their tools and things, but they wouldn't need to enchant their weapons. But yeah, it depends on the playstyle really. Aren't mobs who pick up your loot technically shades? Not the way I'm using it, because the shade I'm talking about spawns from you when you die. It doesn't pick up your stuff afterwards, and is already existing in the world. What do you think about prehistory, Cameron Abnormals? I'm not sure. That's quite a large topic. I think it's quite interesting how there's so much stuff that we haven't like properly catalogued. Like when I think of prehistory, I just think of dinosaurs. But pretty much anything before people started recording stuff accurately, I suppose, is prehistory. I'm not too into history. I prefer other stuff like, you know, game design. But I still find it interesting. I was going through some of my old like bits of paper. I used to draw a lot and write a lot on paper. Paper used to be my favorite thing in the universe. Used to constantly ask for it so I could keep drawing and keep writing. This was when I was like 5. Even earlier. But yeah, I came across I'd written down all the prehistoric time periods, like Precambrian, Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous. I've probably butchered these names. Permian, Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous, Tertiary, Quaternary. But yeah, I used to be into that stuff. I have a book about dinosaurs that like had this massive timeline of this stuff, but I'm not too into it. There's quite a couple of people on the Discord who are into dinosaurs though. Like pretty much every month there's just like this massive conversation about dinosaurs, like people arguing over like whether feathers or scales are more accurate to describe a T-Rex, or people like talking about a new dinosaur game. They're like, oh, you know, they did the Spinosaurus wrong or something like that. I mean, I don't think that's what they said exactly, but it's just kind of what I get out of it. I'm not too knowledgeable about this stuff, so that's really all I pick up on. If they steal the XP, it would have to be much more than 7 levels. Yeah, I imagine they if you kill them, they drop all your XP back. And if you hit them a couple times, you get a little bit of XP back for every time. Something like that, I think would be cool. Maybe they could make it so that dying to a zombie spawns a zombie with all your loot where you died. Not sure how it will work with anything else though. Yeah, that's the problem. I think it is probably worth its own kind of mechanic, not necessarily reusing stuff like zombies. Where would you get experience from? What do you mean? From the shade, you'd have to kill it to get your experience. Let's craft some more torches. Actually getting quite proficient with the controls now, which is nice. It's quite good as well, because like if you think about keyboards, they come from typewriters, and typewriters aren't exactly the most ergonomic thing, because you know typewriters used to be big and clunky, so ergonomity. I'm not sure if that's a word, probably not. Ergonomics wasn't exactly a chief concern for design back then. Whereas now, like keyboards are much smaller, much thinner, much slimmer. So I think there's opportunity to mess with its design and see what works better. Like if you have a controller, it fits in your hands, right? Everything's really easily accessible. You got your pointers on the index fingers on your bumpers and your triggers, and you got your oops. And you got your thumbs on the analogs or the directional pads or the little buttons, like ABXY or the PlayStation ones. And you got the rest of your fingers like holding the handles on it, and then you got your keyboard, which is just blah, 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 on the thing, and it's all flat. And I'm quite interested. Okay, I can't mind that yet. Quite interested in looking into ergonomic keyboards where they're kind of like split. They're more shaped like a controller, so they kind of, well, they don't necessarily need to fit in your hand, but your hand rests on them very easily. So quite interested in trying those out. I mean, where I am is in lockdown right now, so it's not really an option for me at the moment, but maybe once we're out of lockdown. Oops, that splits. Okay. Okay, cool. Right, let's get some iron equipment. Most wandering trader items are pretty gimmicky. Yeah, I think I've heard Sark say the idea of wandering traders selling your lost items. I feel like a lot of ideas for wandering trader are just trying to like make it less useless to players who are already familiar with the stuff that it sells. Yeah, I believe it does still generate in regular caves, because if we have a look at here, oh wait, no, it is a, wait, this is a dripstone cave? Oh, maybe it is, huh, okay. I think they do spawn in patches, but the thing that's going to be removed is the deep slate blobs. So I don't believe you're going to be able to get deep slate copper ore anymore. I could be wrong. I don't think I've seen any though. All right, let's make some equipment. Whee! That was fun. All right. I've heard QWERTY was designed so that people would type slow enough that the mechanisms of the keys wouldn't interfere with each other. Yeah, I've heard that too. Although I think the layout was slightly different. It wasn't quite the QWERTY that we know at the moment. Also, hello Cole. But yeah, the point of the Wandering Trader, I believe, is to introduce new people to the blocks from faraway places. But that leaves the problem of it, you know, not having much utility for everyone else. Alright, slow and steady. Cool, alright. Got that. Let's make a shield as well, because that would be pretty useful. Boom, 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 boom. Cool. Alright, I think I'm pretty much set now. Where are you from? I am from Aotearoa. Alright, I guess I'll leave that furnace smelting in the background. I'm working on a mod about prehistory and stuff like that. I can post some Inja links if you want. What you could do is you could join the Discord and get people's feedback there. And I see everything in the Discord, well, except for the art channels. But yeah, you could post it there, and I can take a gander if you'd like. You can still find deep slate copper and cobalt very, very rarely. Yeah, I think that's how it works, because you know you've still got the gradient between it. I think there's one that like isn't possible. Yeah, deep slate emerald, because I think we found deep slate copper, but I haven't found deep slate emerald. Right. I do not want to face this Enderman yet, but I might try getting full iron armor and trying that. I think they should make tough generating strips above a certain Y level so that deep slate emeralds can still generate. As of now, they're unobtainable. Oh, that's a shame. Alright, back to crafting. Ooh, we got our, oops. Got our helmets. Got our chest plate. This is quite fun trying to work out how to craft this stuff using the drag feature. Whoop. Whoop. Actually super satisfying. Alright, and once we got 7 there, we can have full iron armor and we can try facing that Enderman. Remember RKERR from the abnormal server? I'm not too active in the abnormal server, just in the Minecraft Ideas Academy one. You can kill Enderman easily with a boat. Yeah, I want to try doing it myself though. Do you think that when they release the 1.18 update, they'll make a setting in the world creation options for normal caves and new cave worlds? I don't think so. I think they've worked too hard on the existing caves to make them optional. Ooh, cool. And that's full iron armor. Alrighty, right now let's go and get that Enderman if it's still there. Hello. Okay. Man, this guy's okay. This guy might actually kill me. Oh wow, that was close. Oh my goodness, I was like at half a heart there. Well, it probably wasn't my best idea, but it turned out alright. How long are you gonna stream? Not sure. I would like to go for a little bit longer. So yeah, not sure. Maybe another half hour? Clutch? Yeah, absolutely. That was a total fluke. Alright, well, looks like my my iron is done. So I think it's time to pack up over here and move somewhere else. Deep slate coal, emerald, copper is meant to be obtainable in survival. Not necessarily. It can still generate. It's just not very often. It's just the bit where it transitions from stone to deep slate. There's a slight overlap there. Idea for Enderman: if you're in a place too small for them to get to you, they pick up and place down blocks in an attempt to get to you. Would make them hard to fight. I believe Quark added stuff like that, but no one liked it. So they removed it. Well, maybe not no one, but it was quite unpopular, I've heard. I remember talking to Vazki about Savage and Ravage's creeper changes, and he reckoned that they probably wouldn't be added to Minecraft because, you know, the creeper's too iconic to change. and he cited when he changed Enderman to make them less easy to cheese, and how unpopular that was. But then again, that wasn't removing mobs from placing blocks. That was adding the ability for mobs to place blocks. I mean, Enderman can already, but okay. Well, there goes my axe. All right. Yeah, I guess it would, because you know, if it's still technically the player's fault if they attack the Enderman, then the Enderman goes off making blocks. I don't know. I think there's probably a more elegant way to do it. For example, the Warden apparently has some sort of uh, has some sort of mind altering effect that that prevents the player from choosing it, which is quite interesting. I'm interested to see what that is. But who knows when we'll get the Deep Dark? Not I. Right, let's make some more torches. There we are. Cool. I'm gonna need some food soon. Oh well, it looks like we've just gone in a big loop. What's this way? Oh, I think that's where I was before, yeah. Since when did they say that, meme connoisseur? I want to try brainstorming more. Do you know of any vanilla Minecraft problems that I could try and find a solution to, or something like that? Personally, I do go for problem-oriented design, but there's nothing wrong with experience-oriented design, like what the Warden does. You know, it gives that experience of being powerless, similar to how people felt during the first night. Is that a skeleton? Similar to how people felt on the first night, or people playing in controller, Minecraft with a controller for the first time. Oh god, wait. Oh, yep, thought there was a skeleton there. Okay. Haha. Alright, there we are. Took care of you. Thought there was a skeleton there. But yeah, I don't think it's necessarily you just have to brainstorm about problems. I do that a lot because it's what I'm good at, I think. I like solving problems. I'm not sure if I'm just as creative. I would like to try experience-oriented design. But yeah, as for problems you could solve, you don't necessarily need a problem. You could think about creating a different experience to tie it back to what you were saying. But yeah, I can't really think of any problems off the top of my head. I mean, there are plenty of problems that are being solved currently with mods like Mindful Eating or Zoe's Recast, that sort of thing. So yeah, could probably look into them. I'm not sure if I'm necessarily the person to ask there. Oh, spider. And I can make a bucket. The intent is to have those specific ores generate specific levels. They do, but Deep Slate, there's also a transition between regular stone and Deep Slate. And there's overlap there, so it's kind of, it's not explicitly done, it's just that the ores replace whatever stone there is when they're first generated. So technically, it's not a bug. It's just emergent behavior. It's emergent behavior that is being kept because people like new building blocks. Didn't you say you were making a mod called Mindful Eating? Yep. That's one of the problems. The shade idea sounds like it'll be fun for solo survival, but might be weird for first-time players or role-playing. Also, so free digging up on old topic. That's all right. Yeah, well, there's a lot of feedback that that needs to come from the community to decide exactly how you would implement shades, if you would. Um, but yeah, I think they could probably be done in a Minecrafty way. I mean, anything's better than the current solution, which is have all your items dropped and then despawn within 5 minutes of you loading the chunk. And I'm at the bottom of this ravine now. Oh, I do not want to accidentally look at you. I barely escaped my life from the last Enderman. Alright, see you, sussy Amogus. Stay sussy. See you, Super Cat. Shade thing should be like a game rule, like keep inventory. Again, I don't think necessarily a big feature like that should necessarily be disabled. A game rule is like the quickest solution that people go to when they see something that's controversial. And I guess that has worked for stuff like Phantoms and Wandering Traders, but I really don't think that Mojang should rely on game rules. I think the features just need to be more inclusively designed. Like, instead of allowing the Wandering Trader to be disabled, why not just make it so that you can somehow tell the Wandering Trader to clear off? Or maybe it sells items that are useful to late game players as well as early game players. You know, there's ways to make these features cater to everyone instead of just making them cater to some people and then making them everyone else disable them, because then you've only got a feature that provides gameplay value to a certain portion of the community, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but ideally features should strive to cater to as many people as possible. And you know, that doesn't always work for stuff like Redstone. Because you know, not too many people are interested in Redstone, but yeah, it's just trying to give items more uses if you can. Right, I think we've reached the end of this ravine. Let's see if we can go deeper then. I'm not very knowledgeable on mindful eating. Can you give me the base concept of it? Yeah, it's basically so you got different food groups like vegetables and bread and meat and sugar and fruit. Basically the last food you ate determines how long you can go before you need some more food. So for example, if you're planning on doing a lot of running around like I'm doing with this cave, you might choose to eat some vegetables, because then you'll last longer on the same amount of food. Yeah, so it's intended to add strategy to Minecraft, choosing which food you're going to have on you at any one time. I'm not sure whether that will actually be used, because you know, people are always just going to stick to the best food. They won't necessarily care about this buff. But I don't necessarily want to disadvantage people who don't want to explore the new food mechanics. So perhaps a bit of a curse problem. A curse problem in game design is when you don't really have it, or it's exceedingly difficult to come up with a compromise that satisfies both people. It's the same with survival versus sandbox mechanics. You know, you can compromise between them, but you're never going to please some people, and that's why we have different games. You know, that's why we have mods, so that people who want to play the game a certain way can do so. Oh, and it looks like we're getting into deep state level now. What if instead of having your items separate when you die, they become one orb? Yeah, that's the basic premise of a shade. They all consolidate into one entity that doesn't despawn. Wish I could turn off Wandering Traders and Phantoms, but they can be good sometimes, and I like slow falling. Yeah, I like slow falling too. Sometimes I use it when I've got a Riptide Trident, because it's really risky to go around with the Riptide Trident in the rain, because it's so easy to fall. Whereas if you got slow falling, that's not a problem at all. Wandering Traders become suddenly more useful once they started carrying 1.17, lol. Yeah. Because I think those are the only ways to get like drip leaf stuff, weren't they? Since Lush Caves didn't generate at the time. But I guess that was by accident. Wandering traders becoming useful on accident. Iron vein? Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily an iron vein. I mean, I could try digging out more of it, but I don't think it's one. Because you know you do get streaks of tough in Deep Slate as well, so I'll go back to it and have a little bit of a dig around, but I don't think, because veins tend to be a little bit more kind of less thick, whereas this seems to be quite a big streaky patch of tough. Some more iron up there though, which is nice. Anyway, that cave doesn't lead anywhere, which is a shame. I'll poke around a bit more, but yeah, I don't think the tough is necessarily this prevalent with regular iron veins. Have I been this way? I think I've been this way. Surely there's more stuff this way. There's a bit of copper. Oh, wait. Oh, I thought that was a gap. Which way? This way. I really do want to get down to Deep Slate level, so, oh, redstone. Hello. Oh, my last food. Maybe it's not a good idea to go down to Deep Slate level, but I probably won't be returning to this world anyway, so not a big deal. Oh, haven't been this way yet. Maybe this way will lead to Deep Slate level. Maybe not. Yep. Alright, see you, Graph. Glad you enjoyed it. I was watching a streamer do Spyro, play Spyro Reignited yesterday. Gave me quite a lot of inspiration because he's really enthusiastic. It's quite funny. He was wrapping some duct tape around his head on a deer. Alright, oh, some lapis. Didn't notice that the first time. To prevent people from only eating a certain food, you could add a nutrition system. Well, I've seen that problem a lot, and I don't necessarily want to do it like that. I deliberately made the benefits be quite subtle, you know. You don't actually see any improvements to your player, you just use up less food. Which I think is a nice subtle way to do it, that gives a tangible benefit without disadvantaging players who don't want to use the new system. So yeah, there's been a lot of people who have kind of like forced a diet, like having a diverse diet, and I don't think that's the way to go. I don't think phantoms necessarily suit the end. I just think they just need to be more out of the way. Like I've come up with a couple ideas over the ages, ages. But yeah, like one where you only gain insomnia in the Nether because it's being about not being able to sleep, not necessarily just not sleeping. But wasn't too much of a fan of that one. I honestly just think making them only spawn high up so that you'd only encounter them when flying or if you're climbing a mountain. I really think that would mitigate most of the problems people have with them. Alright, what's the sneak button? Ah, there's the sneak button. Okay. Do you have like one weird thing you'd like to have in Minecraft for no reason at all? Be hilarious if someone who pays a lot of attention to what would be reasonable wants to see like roaches or something. For mindful eating, you might want to keep in mind the changes in the combat snapshots if you're going for a vanilla style. I'm going for a vanilla style. I haven't looked too much in the combat snapshots. I think with hunger they've just changed the generation, the amount that you regenerate. Like they changed how bedrock works. But yeah, I don't think I necessarily need to change that because I don't really change the amount of saturation that's put back. I think it's just tied to saturation. Anyway, to answer your question, Avocado, I don't know. I haven't really thought about just stuff that I want in Minecraft for the sake of it for a while. Like I remember when I was first thinking of stuff like back when I was suggesting all the time. I remember for some strange reason wanting vending machines in Minecraft because I was doing like a Japanese styled suggestion at the time. I'd been to Japan a couple years earlier and got some inspiration from like all the temples that I saw and things. And there were vending machines absolutely everywhere. But yeah, I wouldn't want that in the game now. It's just I think I spend so much time now iterating on my current stuff and making sure that they're a good level of quality that I don't really stop and think about like stuff that I just kind of want to see. Like if I have I don't really have too many like novel ideas at the moment because I'm too focused on wanting to make them as good as possible. That like if I think of something, I'm like, nah, that's stupid. Even though that's not very constructive, Cameron. Now you have to ban yourself from your Discord. But yeah, I don't really think about it too much. If I dug up some of my old stuff, maybe I'd find something. Oh, that looks like a nasty fall. Do I have any gravel on me? One piece. Oh, really? Alright, well, might as well take the fall. I can probably take it. Got no food on me. Always suggesting the boat. Alright, well, I have no wood left now, so I can't exactly do that. Is there a wall nearby? Doesn't appear to be. Tell you what, I'm not going to take the owl. I'm going to make a bucket. There we are. Now I just need to find some water for the bucket. That shouldn't be too hard to find. Whoops. Ender pearl. Oh yeah, I could use that ender pearl I have on me. You know what? That would probably be easier. I do want to get the bucket though, just in case I need it to like get rid of lava and things. Tell you what, I could probably even find water down there. Oops. Not used to climbing up places like this on controller. Right, I don't see any water around here. So yeah, I think I'm just going to ender pearl. Good spotting, Meti the Legend. Especially since Mojang had said that he opened to adding a new dimension once the existing ones are fleshed out. I don't think the Nether is fleshed out yet. I think it could still do with a bit more. And the end definitely. So I don't think it would just take one update. Right, let's get that back into my hotbar because I need that. Alright. Alright, let's go. Whee! Okay. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of people down here. Oh, oh, that was close. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna die down here. At least I got a decent amount of torches, though. Got a bunch of zombies following me. Lovely. Oh, and it only gets deeper. It's already so dark down here. Imagine what it'll be like when the deep dark comes out. Oh, and I got skeletons shooting at me as well. And another creeper. Woo, I love creepers. Why did it stop there? Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm gonna die at any moment. Oh, glow squid. Yep, there we are. Alrighty. Tell you what. I think what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna test out the new elytra features that they added in the snapshot. Actually, what I could do first is go down there and grab all my items if I can find them. Where are my torches? I think I went this way. Yeah, because I went to the meadow first, well, flower forest first. As soon as I see torches, I'll be good. Then I think I went through the birch forest. Can't actually remember now. Maybe I went through there. I remember finding some plains. And then a ravine down here somewhere. Yeah, I think I'm near. Just need to find those torches. I'm never gonna find it at this rate. See, this is why we need new death system, because I'm bad at the game. That's why. With any luck, we probably won't even load the chunks that that have the thing anyway. So fireworks in the creative inventory? They are. Only duration 1 though, I'm guessing. Thinking about it, I think wind and kites would be pretty fun. No like foliage waving or anything, just wind that blows particles around. Stronger winds in mountains maybe. Yeah, that would be keen. I'd be keen. That along with like a more involved weather update would be cool. Pickering ripoff. Hey, well they didn't exist. They didn't invent the idea of ranged mining. All right, let's go. Okay, now let's see if I can transition to flying this way. Okay, cool. All right. So the changes to elytra apparently are you don't actually take damage while flying anymore. Well, while gliding, you take damage while boosting yourself, which is a very very elegant change. I think quite clever to see how they solved that, because the reason that we have firework boosting is because people had figured out that if you get a bow with punch 2 and you shoot and you're at the perfect angle, you can shoot yourself, and the punch 2 gives you extra knockback, which boosts you. And a lot of people were learning to do that, and it wasn't exactly intended. So I believe Cubfan made a suggestion on the Reddit that suggested that fireworks boost you instead of punching yourself with a bow and arrow. Wow, this is a large ocean. Maybe while we're here, we can check out the changes to aquifers as well. So yeah, they added the firework boosting. Oh, glow squid. And then pretty much made any other form of transport obsolete, because before that, elytras were really only used for gliding. They didn't really have much use anywhere else, because, you know, you couldn't boost yourself. People made, like, elytra boosters and things, but yeah. Now pretty much any other form of transport was made obsolete. And the way they seem to have solved this is changing the durability penalty to be on boosting, which encourages you to not, you know, boost constantly like I'm doing now. And it also encourages you to maybe use longer rockets. I think it also boosts you less, which is both a nerf and a buff to if you're flying in enclosed areas, which is nice because you have more control over your thrust. Oh, dolphin! Hello, dolphin. Whee! I'm an opposite dolphin. I'm jumping out of the air into the water instead of the other way around. So yeah, I think that's all the elytra changes. I'd have to look at the changelog again, but I believe that's what it is. Cub fans video on weather is kind of bare, but I like it a lot. Yeah, I guess it's up to the Mojang devs to find out something that would satisfy more players, but suggestion videos are fun. I like watching them. There are a lot of ways that weather could affect the game without being like, tornado wrecks my home and takes my village and children away, not clickbait. So yeah, weather could be more involved. Yeah, I don't necessarily mean that like it would change the environment. It's just that, you know, perhaps you could have local weather, more types of weather. Yeah, they don't need to necessarily destroy the environment. Just play into a player's strategy. Oh, some turtles as well. Anyway, I'm going to see if I can find my way back to that deep ocean. I mean, it's not exactly hard to find, but yeah. Because we're going to look for some aquifers. Oh, shipwreck. Snow should be on fences if it snows. Yeah, you'd need snow logging for that. I mean, firework table has pretty much been confirmed to happen at some point. Not sure if it needs a two-piece table though. Fletching table could be a risk reward way to craft arrows. Is that really needed though? Because like we already can like get infinite arrows from skeleton spawners. I would like different types of arrows, like bouncy arrows, arrows that go in a corkscrew pattern, that sort of thing. What's that game all to prevent dirt from turning into grass? I assume it'd turn random tick speed to 0, because that would stop any random tick event, which includes grass spreading. Alright, the ocean's quite shallow over here. Yeah, wind could work with elytra, that sort of thing. It doesn't necessarily need to have an effect on the environment, it just needs to have an effect on the player. Right. Ooh, this looks promising. Nope, just a very deep ravine. How about this? This is quite deep. Now I can't see it very well. And I've stopped flying now. Must have bumped into something. We could go into spectator and see how they link up. If they link up. Wait, hold on. So there's a cave right below there. Does it link up at all? No, I guess you'd have to mine through it. Yeah, this massive cave is just below that aquifer. What's my brightness setting on? Bright, okay. Must be pretty dark in here then. Because I don't see any way you could get in here from an aquifer. Oh no, wait, hold on. Nah, those aquifers aren't connected to the ocean. What about this one? I think we already went there. This is quite a deep ocean, so there's potential for aquifer connecting. This is quite a good ravine. I think it just needs a bit more magma blocks on average, and it would be on par with the old ones. But it doesn't look like they connect up, probably because there aren't any subsurface aquifers below them. Crazy how deep the underground is, though. Like, how many blocks was it? Like 64? 64 blocks makes a lot of difference. But I can't see where they connect up to the land aquifers. Maybe there's one in here. Doesn't look like it. Night vision potion? Night vision potion looks awful underwater though. I mean, it looks awful in general. To phrase it more constructively, basically it makes it too bright, and it removes any sort of potential atmosphere. If it simply made things brighter in general, and still preserve the color contrast and the general contrast, then I think it would be more pleasing aesthetically. See that aquifer almost links up, but there's a bit of stone behind it. You wouldn't know there was an aquifer behind here unless you could hear the sound of running water. So yeah, that doesn't quite link up. Green Pixel made some really cool bows that change arrow behavior on his minigame server, and for whatever reason they just scratch an itch in my brain. What sort of things do they do? Hello, Supercat. Current night vision becomes night vision 2. Well, I mean, you could do levels of night vision. Just one would be brighter than the other, but there's still the contrast. Something that I'd like to see, I mean, a lot of people have suggested a mining helmet, which makes it so that you can see in front of you in the dark. People have said, well, that would need dynamic lighting, blah, 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 which isn't really feasible. But if you had it so that, like, in the center of your screen, like, say when you have, is there an equivalent feat? Let's wear a pumpkin. Let's say you got a pumpkin on your head. You got that edge around it. So pretend there's no face there. Just pretend that it's just a hole, right? And all around the edges, you've got regular vision. And in the middle, you've got night vision. So it's like a spotlight, but it doesn't actually have any kind of light effect on the world. It's not lighting up the world, it's just lighting up your vision, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's the sort of thing that I want out of a mining helmet. But yeah, I think the Elytra nerfs are a good start, and I agree with you, Meme Connoisseur. They definitely need to buff the other transports. Also, I know ice boats are kind of like a cool emergent mechanic, but I really think they do take away from minecarts. Minecarts, I mean, you'd hope that in the caves and cliffs, minecarts would get a bit more than just having waterlogged rails, but you know, update's already big enough. I'm quite satisfied. I just hope that minecarts one day will get a bit of a change to make them more fun. You know, making them more fun is a pretty important thing. You know, you can make them more powerful, but like people build them currently because it's fun. You know, you can build roller coasters and things. So if you buff them to be a feasible form of transport, and then you also buff them to be more fun, like giving them loop to loop, going upside down, corkscrew, etc., etc., then that also allows people to build cool little things into their transport systems. Bouncy arrows. Something called a flanger, which is a remotely detonated arrow that knocks people back. That's pretty cool. Minecarts are twice as fast in the Legacy Console Edition. They're great. Oh yeah, minecarts got moved a bunch, didn't they? I remember watching Stampy's videos on Xbox, and at one point, like, the minecarts became super slow, and that's when he made the tree train. But then I think they got buffed again. So true, Supercat. So true. Well, not true, but logically consistent. Things can be logically consistent without being true. Letting minecarts not lose momentum so quickly mid-air would also make minecarts way more fun. Oh yeah, that's pretty much one of the biggest issues. I've made minecart machines where they like fly off the rails, then bounce on a slime block, and then go back on the rails. But like, the distance, they lose momentum so fast that I practically have to put the slime block like one gap in between the rails so that it will actually land on the slime block, which is annoying. So yeah, if you had crazy amounts of momentum, you wouldn't even need rails half the time. You could just have a ramp, and then your minecart would go flying through the air, and then you wouldn't have to build rails, which means less having to build rails, which is kind of annoying. And also it'd be cheaper, because, you know, less rails. So you fly up into the air, and then you keep going, and then you fly up into the air. It would just be so cool. Maybe powered rails could react to different power levels. Yeah, currently they don't actually have a block state that detects what power level they're at. If we go into the F3 menu, yeah. Okay, so on the right hand side, you can see their properties. Powered false, shape north-south, waterlogged false. They don't have a power level. They just have a boolean, which is a true or false. When you put a redstone torch, they're powered. And actually, this powered one updates all of these around it for a range of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 8 blocks out from it. So they just don't actually record their own power levels. And I remember someone actually telling me about this on a comment on my cave update video, because they said, oh, well, I would rather power rails stay the same because they use the lack of block states for something. I can't remember exactly what, but like, I don't know. I really want it though. I mean, I guess they could build them into the calculations that decides when the rails get powered, but I don't know. I feel like it would be worth it. I mean, they already don't have as many block states as regular rails because they can't turn. So I think it's justified. You know, these ones have a lot of block states. But I guess they would have about the same. But yeah, that's just my spiel of the day. Should be a track type that allows them to execute true jumps. Like flywheels and Hot Wheels said. Yes! Or you could just have like more powerful power rails. Like if they were closer to the powered source, then you'd make them go quicker. And then like if they were moving fast enough, they could go upside down or on the walls, something like that. Copper needs more uses? Yeah, I suppose. Although I don't see why they couldn't just be in the powered rails. Because it would give the powered rails more depth. Would be cool to have more copper stuff though, especially if they're going to buff minecarts, because then all of a sudden copper has a decent sink for people who want to build roller coasters and such. I think it would only affect the speed and the power the same, so they're powering one from the source and carrying one all the way through. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how they do it, but yeah, I haven't looked into the code much. One of my friends, Supercoder, has messed with minecarts. The code is apparently horrendous, but like it's not. You don't have to rip it out and make a new one. Maybe Mojang would do that, but she's found a way to figure it out with the current minecart code. Minecarts with better momentum would be great for minecart ice roads. Oh no, not the ice roads! They're back! They're back! It would be cool though. You know that scene from the Polar Express where they're like on the tracks and then they get some ice. And then they're drifting across the ice. Oh man, Polar Express was such like a crazy movie, like absolute fever dream. Does that work currently? Let's try it out. Minecart. We're there, yeah. This way. Yep. Nah, you can't even move it. You'd need a boat for that. That's a shame. Yeah, having them keep their momentum on stuff like that would be awesome. Is it okay to go to Piglins without WW? What's that? I think it'd be tidier than Ice Boat. Yeah, definitely. How did I just drop? Probably a boat. Oh, bye boat. Probably somewhere in the ocean. Oh, there it is. Hello. But yeah. Anyway, I think that's probably a good time to wrap up. Been streaming for about 1.5 hours. Oh, hello. That didn't actually kill me, surprisingly. You can kill me instead, zombie villager. There we are. Okay, cool. Is it okay to go to Piglins without golden armor? I wouldn't think so, because they attack you if you're not wearing golden armor. I mean, unless you're on peaceful mode, but I don't think I don't think they even spawn in peaceful mode. I'd have to check. Maybe they're just neutral. I'm not sure. I mean, they are a pretty big part of the Nether update, so maybe they would. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got today. So thanks everyone for coming. Hope you enjoyed. I certainly enjoyed myself, even though I died, because, you know, I got to check out some other stuff in creative. And I suppose I'll be streaming this again next week, unless we have a new snapshot, because I think they said regular snapshots would continue in September. So hopefully we get some of those. I'm really looking forward to the Deep Dark. And once I got all the rest of my adulting and uni assignments out of the way, I'll start working on new videos again, which should be exciting. So yeah, ka kite anō, Cole. Thanks for coming along. And thank you everyone else for coming along as well. And if you want to continue talking about ideas and stuff, you can always join the Discord. There's a link in the description. But apart from that, I think we are all done here. So thanks everyone for coming, and have a